Today we're here on the untimely death of the 42-year-old man. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Superintendent Mr. James Howard. Mr. Howard.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of the Community Police Service, I'd like to give my sincere condolences to the family and friends of the late Michael Phillips, who tragically lost his life last evening. As I reported previously, at 9:35 p.m. Last evening, Mr. Phillips was shot a number of times in the parking lot of the Mid-Atlantic Boat Club, which is located here on North Shore Road, Devonshire. The murder of Mr. Phillips represents the fourth tragic murder that we've had so far this year. Incidents of this kind will continue to have a negative impact on our community. But I just want to reassure you and the public that we will be using all of the resources at our disposal to bring the offenders to justice. Mr. Phillips was taken to King Edward Memorial Hospital, where attempts were made to resuscitate him, and as I said, unfortunately, he lost his life. Now, what I want you all to know is that we can't solve crimes all by ourselves, and this is where I'm encouraging members of the public, community, persons that were here at the Mid-Atlantic Boat Club to come forward, speak to the detectives that are investigating this case. Any member of the community who may have seen Mr. Phillips within the last 24 hours prior to his death, come forward, speak to the detectives so that we can do what we do best, and that is bringing offenders to justice. At this time, I'm going to hand you over to Chief Inspector Smith of the Serious Crime Unit, and he'll give you an update on where we are with this investigation. Mr. Smith.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. By way of an update on the investigation, members of the Serious Crime Unit attended, as reported at 9:30 p.m. last night. We attended in company with sister services and emergency services. Upon arrival, we found the circumstances were that the victim was found in the car park, first aid was rendered, and was conveyed to King Edward Hospital. What we're interested in is speaking with anybody, as Mr. Howard said, that would have been in the area. And the circumstances as we know them to date are that the victim, Mr. Michael Phillips, attended the boat club on his motorcycle. He entered the club and spent a short while inside the club before returning to his motorcycle. He proceeded into the parking area, and at that time, in the parking lot, he was confronted by two who we believe are suspects in this case. The suspects ran into the car park and began firing at Mr. Phillips. Simultaneously, one of the suspects entered the club, and shots are reported to have been discharged inside of the premises as well. Both of these suspects then made their way on foot back onto the roadway and ran in a westerly direction before they mounted what we believe is a dark-colored motorcycle. Mr. Phillips was taken to King Edward Memorial Hospital, where again attempts was made to resuscitate him, and they were unsuccessful. And a short time later, he was pronounced dead by the attending physician. I can formally identify the deceased as 42-year-old Mr. Michael Stephen Phillips. I would also like to take this opportunity to pass on my sincere condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Phillips who are grieving his loss at this time. The family is being assisted by one of the Bermuda Police Service family liaison officers to assist them through this difficult time. Full investigation and a team of detectives from the Serious Crime Unit is heading this investigation and have been working through the night since this incident was reported, and we are pursuing a number of investigative leads. Additionally, an overseas pathologist will be flying in, hopefully by this afternoon or in the near future. And once again, Mr. Howard touched on it. We've again seen the tragic loss of life unfold in our neighborhoods. And I'm urging anybody who has any information that can assist in this inquiry to bring these offenders to justice to contact the Serious Crime Unit or the Crime Stoppers. We are particularly interested in speaking with persons who would have been driving along North Shore Road in Devonshire in the period of 9:20, 9:35, who would have seen anything, or two gentlemen looking suspicious on the roadside, or anybody who would have been at the club itself. We're looking looking for them to come forward and provide any information that they can give. We're also interested in finding out where Mr. Phillips was during the last 24 hours. If you have any information that can assist us in that vein, we'd be interested in hearing from you as well. Members of the public who are wishing to assist can do so by calling the Independent and Confidential Crime Stoppers at 800-8477. That number is 800-8477. Or by calling the Serious Crime Unit at 247-1739. 247-1739. And additionally, you can attend any one of our police stations, major police stations, or if you know a police officer, you can call a police officer, provide them with the information. But what we're interested in right now is movements and any activity that might have taken place in and around the boat club during the time that this incident occurred. The regular number to the police is 295-0011. You may also use that if you require. For the members of the press, previously during press conferences we've heard questions about gang interference and gang relations. In this investigation, we're working towards that. But currently there's no evidence to indicate that this was a particular gang murder or is gang related. However, the investigation, we won't leave anything unturned, and we'll work towards that. We'll leave no stones unturned. So that's where we're at. And if you can help us with any information, we'd be grateful.
Any questions?
Yes.
To Right Rod?
Chief Inspector ZBM News understands 13 shots were fired in total. Can you confirm this?
I'm not going to confirm that at this time because obviously that's something the investigators would like to put close to our chest. But what I will say is that there is a significant number of shots that were fired, and we believe that both perpetrators had a firearm.
I understand that police believe it wasn't gang related. Here it might have been drug related. Can you say anything to that?
I would like to speak to your source if that's what they're telling you, because we're in the infancy of our inquiry and we'll work towards that. So if you have any information in that line, we can maybe speak offline.
Anyone else? Members of the media, thank you so much for your time. We should be getting you a cup. Sorry.
I was just going to ask, is it your understanding that it was the gentleman, the victim, was the intended target?
Too early to say. By all that we know so far, which is very little, I wouldn't want to comment on that until we speak to a few more people that were present before we can answer that.
Can you just confirm that no injuries were experienced inside the club?
That is correct. No one else was in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.